In this video, I'll show you how to take your Neovim config from this to this in just 5 minutes. I'll also show you how to customize it to add your own plugins and features. Not only does this config look really good, it's also super fast. I have over 90 plugins and it boots up faster than the literal blink of an eye. If you haven't already installed Neovim to your computer, you'll want to do that now. And since this process is different for each computer, I'll leave a link in the description for Neovim's GitHub. For the fundamentals, this config uses LazyVim, which is a Neovim setup powered by the Lazy Package Manager. LazyVim also sets up and installs all of the plugins that every config needs, like auto-completion, a file browser, fuzzy file searching, a terminal, tabline buffers, and more. It also is super easy to customize. Before we install it though, the first thing that you really should do is back up your current Neovim config. If you've never set up Neovim before, then you can just skip this step. Or you can back it up with this command. I know these commands are really long, so if you would like, I put them in the description so that you can copy and paste. Now we can install LazyVim. You can do this with this command, and again there's slight differences between Mac and Linux or Windows. Once it's installed, we can just start up Neovim, and when it first comes out, you should see something like this. What it's doing right now is installing all of the plugins. It then shows this message with everything installed. Now all we need to do is just exit Neovim and come back in and make sure everything installed correctly, and it works. At this point I really could just end the video, but it doesn't look yet like my config, so I'll show you a little bit more how to customize it and help it to become your own PDE. The very first super simple thing that you can do is jump into Neovim and type in the command lazy extras. Then any plugin you see in this list you want to add, you can just hit the X key and it'll add it to your config. And the next time you open up Neovim, it'll automatically install the plugin and set it up for you. But sometimes we want plugins that aren't in this list, so I'll show you how to do that. First you want to do is navigate to your Neovim config folder. Once you get there, the file structure should look something like this. Inside of this Lua folder, you'll see two folders, a plugins folder, which we'll get to in a minute, and config. Inside of the config, you'll see 4 files that you can make changes to, a lazy Lua, which is lazy settings, options Lua, which is where you can put any Neovim options you want, auto commands Lua for your auto commands, and finally key maps for any of your favorite custom mappings. If you have no idea what Neovim options or auto commands are, I highly recommend you check out the Neovim documentation, and even though it's really long and boring, I definitely learned a lot from it. Okay, now we'll switch to the exciting part of the Lua folder, the plugins folder. Inside of this folder, you'll see an example.lua file. This file is just an example of how to change plugins and make customizations to already installed plugins. But to add your own plugin, simply create a new empty Lua file in this plugin folder, and you can name it anything you want. Inside of this file, it returns an array of plugins. If you want, let's say, a nice scroll bar, for example, like satellite plugin, all you have to do is inside of these quotes, just add the name of the GitHub repo, and that's it. Next time you open Neovim, it'll automatically install and set up this plugin for you. LazyVim also comes pre-installed with my color scheme of choice, AU. If you want to apply it, all you have to do is change LazyVim's color scheme with this. If you want to learn more about how to set up LazyVim or settings and configs, definitely check out the link in the description for LazyVim Docs. And as always, I hope you've learned something from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.